Thank you. Hello, everyone. Thank you, Jay. Today, I'm going to interview with Jay. Thank you for accepting my invitation. Please introduce yourself to our audience.
Oh, thank you very much. I'm happy to be here. My name is Jay Lyman. I'm a librarian with the Seattle Public Library. And in my role at the library, I help entrepreneurs and nonprofits succeed in their work. And we do that in a lot of ways, which we'll talk about today.
Yeah, thank you. I'm very interested. And Jay, please, could you tell us that how your library supporting like a social entrepreneurship, especially, or any entrepreneurship like towards community?
Yes, I'd love to. Thank you. So first of all, I think, libraries, can and should reflect what's happening in their communities. And so, we have entrepreneurs who are exploring, solving social problems in with their businesses in our community. We have nonprofits in our community also. And so because of that, like we should have programs and services for them to help and support them in their work. Some of the things that and so we spend a lot of time listening to our community to try to understand what services should we be offering. One of our best services that we have developed is a one-on-one consultation where community members can meet with librarians to try to understand what resources and tools they have to research their markets. So trying to figure out, who's my customer for this? How many people live in this area, and how much money do they make, and those kinds of things. Or how who's my competition? What other pet stores are in this neighborhood? Those kinds of things. So appointment-based things. One of the things we heard was that people had a lot of questions about legal aspects of starting a business. And so we have consultations where people can schedule 30 minutes with an attorney that has expertise in corporate law or intellectual property law. That's another service that we've developed. And then we have access to tools, like information tools, so that people can do that market research. Because if they go out and they start to look for information, they find that it's expensive and they can't afford the price of those. So those are a few of the programs. We're always workshops are another big one too, where we have classes so people can build their business skills and learn how to do marketing or build a website or things like this. So those are just a few of the ways that we help.
Yeah, excellent, excellent. And Jay, I would like to know that you mentioned some programs like your library are providing to the community. So for these services, what kind of skills they need? Like, how they made themselves ready to provide this kind of services?
Yes.
Or especially librarians.
Exactly. Yes. Yeah. Thank you for that question. We have a team of about 7 librarians who I work with who do that service, and most of them, they are public librarians who do other things for parts of their time, and then they help entrepreneurs, for a portion of their work time. I think what kind of skills that they need, they don't need, I think there's an assumption that people might need like a business background. Maybe I need a degree in business to help in this way. And from my perspective, that's not true. Librarians have the skills that they need to help social entrepreneurs with information, solve information problems, and and so it really just takes a that being open to it and embracing those questions. When I first started as a librarian, my first day on the job, I had a colleague tell me, Jay, what you need to know, the patrons will teach you. Take the questions. The questions will teach you everything you need to know. And he was right.
Yeah, yeah,
Just
exactly.
be open to going on the information journey with that patron, and you will, yes, it will take some time for you to learn and then figure out some of these things, but that's really the best teaching that we can do. I do teach a more traditional class where we take new people to our team through, so that they can get some some of the language that people use, some of the concepts, we call it business concepts, so that people can, so they're not coming to it just cold. They have a sense of things. But I think that the real learning happens with taking the questions, and we also do a lot of shadowing of each other too, and that's I think another place where we learn from each other in those
Oh,
situations.
that's
So if you have, if you are a librarian, listening to your community and hearing them talk about social entrepreneurship, talking about be a nonprofit, and you feel you want to embrace that, don't feel that you can't help. You can. There's a lot you can do,
exactly.
and you have skills that are valuable to your community. So I want people to feel confident in that.
Yeah, exactly. I agree with you absolutely. And I like the idea that questions are your teacher. Really, it's always like that, questions in the library can be your teacher as a librarian.
For sure.
Thanks for the reply. And I would like to know about the community role, that how they should make themselves ready, and like how their reaction will be towards librarians receiving social entrepreneurship.
Yeah, I love this question. Like how the I think the biggest thing is use what we build. Like we're listening. We're building based on what you tell us. So then come to it and use it. If it's a program, attend. If it's a one-on-one appointment with a librarian, like sign up for those things. That's the number one thing. But then also, like, tell us what your needs are, like share what you're seeing. Is there something that we're not doing that we could be doing, that could help you in your work? So those, communicate with the library, and that's a huge way to support us, like in our work, so that we can, and we do listen, to at least to what we're hearing, and we try. We're not always able to build things that people need, like, all at once. We can't do it all at once. We also, like, we have to think about what we're doing, and that kind of thing. But give us feedback on what your needs are. I think that's those two things are probably the biggest
Yes.
things for the community.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you for that. And Jay, as you know, we are on the process of our international conference on entrepreneurship and libraries. What do you think, like, how this conference can accomplish, like, towards the public libraries entrepreneurship? How this kind of events can help, for example, to public libraries to gain or to provide some entrepreneurship services?
Yeah, I'm super excited about the upcoming conference, and I've attended a few of them, in the prior Interlib conferences too, and they've been so valuable, for me. So I think I'm hopeful that librarians will attend and make connections with others that are doing this kind of work. And I also like hope to learn from each other. The we librarians share. So I've learned so much
Exactly.
from other librarians who are doing different things, and so that part of it, and making connections, and making connections and learning from each other. I think that's those are my biggest hopes for that, and I know it will happen too.
I hope so. Thank you so much, Jay, for this interview. And as I told you, public libraries always are my favorite. So I'd love always to work, in public libraries, especially like providing entrepreneurship, like social entrepreneurship to the government. So you are lucky that you are working in the public libraries. Thank you so much for this interview and for your time. Yes.
You're welcome, and thank you for taking the time to interview me and for the opportunity. Appreciate it, and thanks so much.
My pleasure.